Kindly now, please, Adris Malik.
Thank you, Brian. Mitchell, after a fantastic day and a number of matches on the wicket, how much you are confident to finish this match on a fourth day? And if you have some words for the curator of National Stadium, please.
Where's the green grass? No, look, we're not putting a time frame on it. Obviously, we've gone out with the bat again to. I guess the result of how we've bowled today has given us that opportunity to explore a few options in how we want to approach it. By no means are we thinking too far ahead. All we've done is given ourselves a really good opportunity to I guess dictate the game in any number of options we want to take. So there's still 2 days. There's still going to be 10 wickets we need to take. You don't get any extra points for finishing the game early. So yeah, look, we want to keep going about our business the way we have for the first 3 days. It's been really, really impressive how we've gone about it with the bat, obviously in the first 2 days, and then today as a group with the ball. So I'm sure that the guys will sit back tonight and have a think and come tomorrow with a really clear plan, and we'll go ahead and do our best to try and win this test match.
Thank you very much.
कहा है कि अच्छे पैचेस पे पैट कमिंस ने और मिचेल स्टार्क ने बॉलिंग की है, तो पाकिस्तान को वो पैचेस क्यों नहीं मिले? और जब ये शॉर्ट ओवर्स में जाहिर ऑटोमेटिकली एक सिंपल सी बात है कि ऑस्ट्रेलिया ने प्लान करके आना था क्विक रन्स। हमने नुमान और साजिद को कंटिन्यूली लगाया बाद में। आपको नहीं लगता कि ये प्लानिंग होनी चाहिए थी कि हम कम से कम फास्ट बॉलर्स लगा के रन ही रोक लेते?
कौन भाई बात कर रहे हैं? अदरीस भाई, ये मेरी डोमेन नहीं है, नहीं तो मैं ज़रूर बताता आपको। ये बॉलिंग की डोमेन है। अगर आप के बॉलर से अगर ये बात करेंगे तो बेहतर आंसर आपको वो दे सकते हैं। मेरी डोमेन नहीं है। मेरी जो कोई डोमेन थी उसमें मैंने कोशिश की है कि मैं आपको बता सकूं, लेकिन बॉलिंग वाली मेरा ख्याल है कि मेरे लिए मुश्किल है।
थैंक यू सो मच अदरीस, थैंक यू सो मच आप सबका आपने में ज्वाइन किया।
Okay, going well bowled. How do you reflect on that middle session and Australia's performance with the bowlers, and just your thoughts on what was going through your head with that hat-trick ball?
Pretty decent session, I'd say. I think obviously over the last couple of days, we knew the pitch would deteriorate to some degree, and I'm not sure we thought it might happen that quickly. But I think credit to the whole bowling attack and certainly the fielders as well to apply ourselves the way we did and come away with the results today. Really sets up a good final 2 days. So in terms of the bowling throughout today, it was fantastic. A couple of sessions for us. In terms of the hat-trick ball, was another one missed, I guess.
And it appeared like there was a little bit more reverse swing here than Rawalpindi. Why do you think that might have been the case? You guys could extract that a bit better today.
It was both teams have extracted it. It's a much more abrasive wicket. Obviously, we've seen the footholes there as well, so it's going to encourage spin bowling and some demons come the next 2 days. The wicket's certainly more abrasive. There's a few more cracks. Even whilst I was out there batting yesterday and they took the third new ball, there was a massive chunk out of it after 2 overs. So it just shows how abrasive the wicket is, and I think that's obviously played a huge part in achieving reverse swing. I think you just look at that square as well. It's so dry and bare. You've got obviously the practice wickets, but then you've got sort of 2, 3, 4 wickets either side of the main wicket, which is pretty much just dried mud and really abrasive. Whereas you go to Rawalpindi and it was green grass on the square. So I think they've all played a factor. Obviously it's warmer and dry here as well, but both teams have been able to achieve that reverse swing, and I think the way our batters applied themselves the first 2 days, full credit to them to set a massive total and put us in the box seat.
Nick, please.
Thanks, Brian. Mitch, well bowled today. Did Pat consult you at all before making the decision not to enforce the follow-on? Did he speak to you about whether or not how you were feeling and whether fatigue played a part in that decision?
Nope. I had no discussions about that. It's I don't know who had discussions. It was pretty set in his ways, and I think it's probably come back to how things happened today, and still 2 full days, and sort of I guess you don't really want to bat last on this wicket. So I know we've got a healthy lead, no doubt. I think you look at test matches gone by when we've played Pakistan in the UAE and other test matches in the subcontinent, you don't see too many of the home side enforce a follow-on. So I think the way we went about it today has given us that opportunity to explore all those options, and that's the one that Pat and the Brains Trust have gone with.
Mel Farrell, please.
Thanks, Mergus. Hey, Mitch. I'm just wondering when you think the last time was either in Australia or away that you were able to extract that much reverse and that early in the game? And I've got a follow-up one if that's okay.
It's a good question. Certainly not on the wickets through the summer. I think there's been a couple of times in probably in that previous Indian series. Certainly some reverse through that series. Yeah, off the top of my head, I couldn't tell you, to be honest.
And again, Mel.
Yeah, sorry, I just lost you there. And also, in terms of how quickly you're all learning on this series, and particularly with Pat being a pretty green captain, if you like, is this like, I guess, a period where you think you're learning particularly fast?
I'm not sure. I think obviously we've got a lot of experience in this group. We've got some fresh guys, no doubt, certainly guys on their first subcontinent tours. In saying that, we've got a lot of guys that have been on multiple subcontinent tours. So I think obviously Test cricket in Pakistan is a first for this entire group. But in terms of subcontinent conditions, I guess we're always searching to improve. And obviously Pat's first away series as captain, first subcontinent series as captain. But I think we've had some extremely thorough conversations as a group in the lead up to this series, throughout last week with what went on in Rawalpindi. Those few days we had in Melbourne before we came away, we obviously were unsure what we were going to face when we got over here, so we applied ourselves to all different scenarios, I guess, before we left. But yeah, I think it's a feature of this group to adapt and learn on our feet, and I think we're showing that through the last 3 days of how we've obviously learnt from last week, obviously faced with different conditions here this week, but being able to adapt and stay pretty calm, whether it's gone pretty well these first 3 days, but I guess the test will be when it's going to be, obviously last week was hard work and coming off the back of that and sort of putting it out of our minds in a way, if you like, and moving and fully focusing on this week as opposed to thinking too much about last week.
Shahid Hashmi, please.
Mitchell, there's been a lot of talk of you not taking too many wickets in Asia. So does this give you some heart with Sri Lanka and India too coming in the next 10-12 months?
I haven't heard any of that chat. Last time I went to Sri Lanka, I took 24 wickets. So, yeah, obviously there weren't too many wickets taken by too many people apart from the spinner last week. So, yeah, I think it was a fantastic effort through today for our attack to collectively take those 10 wickets and put ourselves in a great spot.
Steve Larkin, please.
Thanks, Megas. I saw somewhere that that's the 15th time in international cricket you've been on a hat trick. A, were you aware of that? B, can you just talk us about how close you got with that ball to Rizwan to actually achieving the feat? Thanks.
Yeah, I didn't know that was the number. Missed out the same way in Melbourne, I think, as well. So, yeah, look, it's not like you chase him. You're trying to play a part, I guess, and to, yeah, it's not something I've ever thought too much about. It's always nice to pick up wickets along the way and contribute. But yeah, I think that ball must have hit a crack a little bit and gone away from Rizwan. So, still a decent ball, I think. It just didn't find the edge.
We've got time for 3 more now, please. Bharat Sundaresan, Waqar Zafar and Adris Malik. Bharat, first of all, please.
Thanks, Brian. Hey, Mitchell, just couple of questions quickly. Before coming here, you could have expected reverse swing here. So how much did you have to work on just getting it to go late? I mean, that is an essential part of reverse swing as well, right? Not to pick from the hand.
I mean, I've been bowling international cricket for sort of 11 years now, so you pick up things along the way. But yeah, we had one main session in Melbourne before we came away where we all bowled with reverse balls. It was more just getting back into the, I guess the cues. I think personally for the way I was thinking about it anyway, was getting back in those cues because we didn't see too much of the old ball through the summer or certainly reverse swing. So it was more about trying to swing the new ball, trying to nip it off the seam, whatnot through the summer. So just getting some of those cues back to where I feel I need my action to be to get that reverse swing, certainly around the wicket, trying to get the ball to go both ways. So yeah, that was sort of the lead up to the series. Obviously we didn't see a whole lot of it last week in Rawalpindi with different conditions, but as I said before, with the abrasive nature of this wicket and the square around it, it's obviously played a huge part in our innings. But we saw how productive the Pakistani team were to get that reverse swing through the first 2 days. It was now our turn to obviously get it to go reverse and then to make the most of it with the ball in hand.
Sorry, if I could just slip another one in there. How much of it, the damage that you did with Pat Cummins today, had to do with the fact that he was bowling different lengths and still getting it to reverse while you were getting it much fuller?
I think that just shows how we go about our bowling differently. I think whether it's reversing, swinging naturally, going straight, seaming, I think Pat's always been a fraction different length to me. I've always been a fraction fuller. That's probably true throughout my career. I think my lengths have obviously been probably a little bit fuller than both Pat and Josh throughout the time we've all bowled together, which in turn probably leads me to be a little bit more expensive at times, but at the same time brings in hitting the stumps percentage-wise a bit higher than the other two as well. I think over a period of time. So yeah, I think, as I said before, the whole collective bowling unit today in different partnerships were excellent. I think the fact that our two spinners didn't have to bowl more than 10 overs is credit to everyone. Swepo picking wicket cricket. We know how good Nathan's going to be. I'm sure the two of those guys are going to play a massive part in days 4 and 5 in terms of Pat, Cam and I, and to get that ball reversing, to bowl some good lengths, bowling good partnerships. I think it was a fairly good effort from everyone today.
2 quick questions now, please, because the bus is waiting for us. Wakas Zafar, please.
Hi Mitch, well done on your performance. I wanted to ask that how important is it for you to create angles as a fast bowler? I mean, you when bowling around the wicket to right-handed batsmen, you're seen bowling from the corner of the crease. Just talk me through that a bit. Thanks.
Yeah, I guess it's just the way I've naturally lined myself up. I think I'm fairly close to the stumps when I bowl over the wicket, and that just naturally translates when I come around the wicket. So I've never really been away from that mark around the wicket. I've never been closer to the stumps or whatnot. It's just the way that my approach to the crease gets me into that position, and then to try and generate that reverse swing or that angle as the left armour. Obviously a point of difference to Pat and Cam in this game. Likewise with over the wicket, it doesn't change too much when I'm trying to use the crease. It's probably just little subtle changes.
Just finally now, please, Adris Malik.
Thank you, Brian. Mitchell, after a fantastic day and a number of matches on the wicket, how much you are confident to finish this match on a 4th day? And if you have some words for the curator of National Stadium, please.
Where's the green grass? No, look, we're not putting a time frame on it. Obviously, we've gone out with the bat again to. I guess the result of how we've bowled today has given us that opportunity to explore a few options in how we want to approach it. Yeah, by no means are we thinking too far ahead. All we've done is given ourselves a really good opportunity to, I guess, dictate the game in any number of options we want to take. So there's still 2 days. There's still going to be 10 wickets we need to take. You don't get any extra points for finishing the game early. So yeah, look, we want to keep going about our business the way we have for the first 3 days. It's been really, really impressive how we've gone about it with the bat, obviously in the first 2 days, and then today as a group with the ball. So yeah, well, I'm sure that the guys will sit back tonight and have a think and come tomorrow with a really clear plan, and we'll go ahead and do our best to try and win this test match.
Thank you very much, everyone. Take care. Look forward to seeing you tomorrow.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Cheers.
Assalamualaikum. I believe we only have reporters from Pakistan so far, so we'll straight away move to Urdu, and later on, if needed, we'll then take questions in English. मोहम्मद यूसुफ पाकिस्तान के बैटिंग कोच हमारे साथ मौजूद हैं और हम सवालात का सिलसिला शुरू करते हैं। सबसे पहले मैं फैज़ान लखानी और हुज़ैफ़ा, फैज़ान पहले आप सवाल कर लें, फिर हुज़ैफ़ा आप सवाल कर लें।
शुक्रिया इमाद। अस्सलाम वालेकुम यूसुफ भाई, आप अपने दौर में जब आप खेलते थे, आप माशाल्लाह तहम्मुल के साथ खेलने जाने वाले बैटर्स में से होते थे। आज तहम्मुल मिजाजी तो बिल्कुल नजर नहीं आई, जल्दबाजी, कुछ अनजाना सा प्रेशर, गलत शॉट्स खेलते हुए विकेट भी गवा दी और रनआउट्स भी हो गए। क्या कहेंगे ओवरऑल जिस तरह आज इस बैटिंग का मुजाहरा किया पाकिस्तान ने?
बिस्मिल्लाहिर्रहमानिर्रहीम। जैसे आपने खुद ही बता दिया कि रन आउट भी हो गए, तो मेरा ख्याल रन आउट की वजह से एक उनको मोमेंटम मिल गया, और मैं समझता हूँ कि जितनी एक्सपीरियंस बॉलिंग थी उनकी, उसके बाद जैसे उनको मोमेंटम मिला, उन्होंने राइट एरिया पे बॉलिंग की, और मेरा ख्याल है कि ऐसे बहुत से स्पेल हमने भी देखे हुए हैं। वसीम भाई, विक्की भाई, शुएब, ये जब ऐसी बॉलिंग करते थे और उसमें बड़ी बड़ी टीमों को ये प्रॉब्लम होती थी। मैं समझता हूँ कि उन्होंने बहुत अच्छी जगह पे बॉलिंग की है।
हुज़ैफ़ा सवाल करें।
थैंक यू माद। यूसुफ भाई बताइएगा कि अजहर अली इतने सीनियर क्रिकेटर हैं और एक विकेट रनआउट के थ्रू हम जा चुकी थी, उसके बाद भी इमाम और अजहर ने ऐसे शॉट्स खेले तो टीम को प्रेशर में डाला, तो आपने कोई बात की उनसे? अब आगे क्या प्लान है पाकिस्तान क्रिकेट टीम का?
देखिए, इमाम ने इसी तरह पिछले मैच में रन्स किए हैं, निकल के उसने जो कदमों का इस्तेमाल करता था, पिछले मैच में उन्हें काफ़ी मरतबा उसमें कामयाब हुआ है। इसमें भी एक छक्का मारा उसने, एक आधा चौका भी मारा इसमें, तो ये स्ट्रेंथ है उसकी, और मेरा ख़्याल है बंदा अपनी स्ट्रेंथ पर रन्स भी करता है और आउट भी होता है। तो मेरा ख़्याल है कि इंसान सीखता भी है और चलता भी, आगे भी चलता है, और अपनी स्ट्रेंथ को मेरा ख्याल है कि नहीं छोड़ना चाहिए। हम लोग भी अपनी स्ट्रेंथ पे रन्स भी करते थे, आउट भी हो जाते थे।
जी, अगला सवाल मुज़म्मिल आप करें।
अच्छा यूसुफ, मैं ये पूछना चाहूँगा कि जब ऑस्ट्रेलिया बैटिंग कर रही थी तो ऐसा लग रहा था कि ये बैटिंग पिच है और जब पाकिस्तान आएगी तो वो भी लंबा खेलेगी, लेकिन हमने हमेशा पाकिस्तान बैटिंग का ही देखा है कि जब पाकिस्तान दूसरी टीम से रन करवाती है और फिर खुद खेलने आती है तो पिच अचानक से चेंज हो जाती है और लगता है ऐसा है कि अब ये पिच जो है वो बॉलिंग पिच हो गई और बैट्समैन कम्प्लीटली फेल हो जाते हैं। तो इसके हवाले से कोई स्ट्रेटेजी आपने जहन में बनाई हुई है मूविंग फॉरवर्ड?
बिल्कुल आप ठीक कह रहे हैं कि जब इतना बड़ा स्कोर लग जाए तो ऑब्वियसली दूसरी टीम जब खेलने आती है तो वो एक अंडर प्रेशर होती है, इसमें कोई शक नहीं। और जो टीम बॉलिंग वाली होती है उसके पास बहुत ज़्यादा रन्स होते हैं बोर्ड पर, और वो बॉलिंग जो है वो बड़े एतमाद से करती है, उसके पास रन्स बहुत होते हैं। और अगर आप देखा जाए तो उनके दो जो एक्सपीरियंस बॉलर हैं, अपना कमिंस और स्टार्क, उन दोनों ने बहुत ज़बरदस्त बॉलिंग की है, बहुत अच्छे एरियाज़ में उसने बॉलिंग की है। देखें जो हार्ड बॉल टाइम था, जो जब रिवर्स स्विंग हुआ 17 से 38-39 ओवर तक, उन्होंने बहुत ज़बरदस्त रिवर्स स्विंग का इस्तेमाल किया है, जिसमें उसी मेरा ख्याल है 17-18 ओवर्स के अंदर हमारे 5-6 खिलाड़ी आउट हुए हैं। तो फुल क्रेडिट फॉर देम, तो उन्होंने बहुत अच्छी बॉलिंग की है और फील्डिंग बहुत ज़बरदस्त थी उनकी। मेरा ख्याल है कि ये बहुत दफ़ा आपने देखा होगा, अगर एक टीम अच्छा स्कोर लगा देती है बोर्ड पर ऐसी विकेट पे कि जो जिस पे रिवर्स स्विंग या टर्न के चांस हो, तो वो अगली टीम जो सेकंड टाइम बैटिंग करती है उसको ज़रूर मुश्किल होती है, चाहे जितनी मर्जी बड़ी बैटिंग लाइन हो।
माजिद भाई, शाहिद भाई और फिर जुबैर नज़ीर।
अच्छा यूसुफ, आपने इन पिचेस पे लातादाद मैचेस खेले, पाकिस्तान को मैच बचा के भी दिए, जितवा के भी दिए, तो अब एज ए बैटिंग कोच ड्रेसिंग रूम में बैठ के लड़कों को मोटिवेट करना, उनको ये कहना कि कल आप जाएं, इस तरह खेलें, इस तरह मैच बचाएं, कितना मुश्किल है या बहुत आसान काम है कि आप उनको पेप टॉक करेंगे कल और वो जब दूसरी इनिंग्स में जाएंगे तो सिचुएशन बिल्कुल डिफरेंट होगी?
माजे भाई ऑनेस्टली अगर मेरे से पूछें कि मैं अगर ये कहूँ जी इस तरह खेलें, इस तरह करें, ये बहुत आसान बात है बोलना, लेकिन मेरा ख्याल है कि जिस तरह की क्वालिटी बॉलिंग और रिवर्स स्विंग हो रहा है, इस पे आप जो मुझे समझ आती है, जो मैं लड़कों से समझ रहा हूँ कि बात मुझे करनी चाहिए कि रिवर्स स्विंग हो रहा हो तो जो हमने भी सुना है अपने सीनियर्स प्लेयर्स के साथ जब खेलते थे, और जो बॉलर थे जैसे हमारे बड़े बॉलर जो रिवर्स स्विंग करते थे वो भी ये कहते थे एक स्विंग खेलो अंदर के लिए छोटी टांग से। तो ये अगर हम मेरा भी मैसेज ये होगा इंशाल्लाह, अभी हम बात भी करेंगे तो उसमें मेरा मैसेज इनके लिए यही होगा। लेकिन ये बहुत मुश्किल चीज़ होती है कि मैं बाहर से बैठ के कह दूँ कि ये कर लें ये कर लें, लेकिन टफ़ है। दोनों बॉलर्स उनके जो हैं कमिंस और स्टार्क, वो दोनों बड़ी ज़बरदस्त बॉलिंग की उन्होंने। लेकिन मुझे उम्मीद है कि अगर हम कोशिश करेंगे इंशाल्लाह, अल्लाह ने चाहा तो बाज़ आप 2-2 सेशन क्या 2-2 दिन खेलें। अभी जैसे पहले टेस्ट में हमने 2 दिन पूरे बैटिंग की है, फिर बाद में भी की है, तो अल्लाह से पूरी उम्मीद है कि हम कोशिश करेंगे कि हम इस मैच को फ़ाइट करें और एंड तक जाएं।
जी शाहिद भाई और फिर जुबैर नज़ीर।
यूसुफ भाई अस्सलाम वालेकुम। ये बताइए कि अगर हम टॉस जीते होते तो क्या हमने बड़ा स्कोर किया होता और यही पोजीशन ऑस्ट्रेलिया की होती?
आप देखें होती, क्यों नहीं होती, क्योंकि आप जब बड़ा स्कोर लगाते हैं तो कोई भी टीम अंडर प्रेशर आ सकती है। आपने माजी में आपने भी बहुत से मैच कवर किए होंगे और आप लोगों ने भी ये सिचुएशंस देखी होंगी। हमारे ख़िलाफ़ बहुत सी टीमें ऐसे आउट हुई हैं कि हमने अगर इतने बड़े रन्स ना भी किए हो, 400 भी लगाया और बॉल रिवर्स स्विंग हो रहा हो, तो जिस तरह की हमारी बॉलिंग होती थी शोएब और वसीम भाई, तो ये भी बहुत सी टीमों को ले जाते थे, ऐसे ही 100-125 में ले जाते थे। अगर आप याद हो 2002 में मेरा ख्याल न्यूजीलैंड के ख़िलाफ़ हमने लंबे रन्स किए थे, इंजमाम भाई ने 300 किया था, तो शुएब ने मेरा 15 रन दे के 6 विकेटें ले ली थी इसी तरह रिवर्स स्विंग पे, और वो बैटिंग विकेट थी जिस पे 300 रन हुए हैं, मेरा ख्याल 500 के करीब रन हुए हैं, इंजमाम भाई के 300 थे, तो उस पर 15 for 6 मेरा ख्याल शुएब कर गया था। तो ये होता है, लेकिन कोई एक्सक्यूज़ नहीं मैं दे रहा, कोई ऐसी चीज़ नहीं है। हम कोशिश करेंगे इंशाल्लाह और प्लेयर्स को मोटिवेट करेंगे इंशाल्लाह, कॉन्फिडेंस देंगे, और जो जिन लड़कों ने पहले रन्स किए हैं वो भी इन्होंने किए हैं, इंशाल्लाह दोबारा भी ये कोशिश करेंगे, हिम्मत करेंगे हम लोग, इंशाल्लाह फाइट बैक करेंगे।
लास्ट 2 क्वेश्चन जुबैर नज़ीर और इदरीस मलिक।
जी यूसुफ, क्वेश्चन ये है कि अभी आपने कहा कि इंसान सीखता रहता है, तो ये बताइए कि पाकिस्तान क्रिकेट टीम कब तक सीखती रहेगी इस विकेट के ऊपर, जो विकेट पे रुकना चाहिए था हमारे 2 बैट्समैन जो रन आउट हो गए, तो इनको कब समझ आएगी? थैंक यू।
अब बिल्कुल आप ठीक कह रहे हैं, लेकिन सीखने का अमल तो सारी ज़िंदगी रहेगा। मैं अभी भी कोशिश कर रहा हूँ कि मैं लड़कों के साथ जो कन्वर्सेशन करता हूँ, जब बात करता हूँ, तो मेरी कोशिश होती है उनसे डिस्कशन में कुछ मैं भी सीखूं और कुछ मैं जो मेरा एक्सपीरियंस है वो भी उनको पास ऑन करूं। तो सीखने का अमल तो जारी रहेगा, इंशाल्लाह पूरी कोशिश करेंगे कि ये लड़के आगे से आगे बेहतर से बेहतर क्रिकेट खेलना शुरू करें।
यूसुफ भाई, जैसे आपने कहा है कि अच्छे पैचेस पे पैट कमिंस ने और मिचेल स्टार्क ने बॉलिंग की है, तो पाकिस्तान को वो पैचेस क्यों नहीं मिले? और जब ये शॉर्ट ओवर्स में जाहिर ऑटोमेटिकली एक सिंपल सी बात है कि ऑस्ट्रेलिया ने प्लान करके आना था क्विक रन्स। हमने नुमान और साजिद को कंटिन्यूली लगाया बाद में। आपको नहीं लगता कि ये प्लानिंग होनी चाहिए थी कि हम कम से कम फास्ट बॉलर्स लगा के रन ही रोक लेते?
कौन भाई बात कर रहे हैं? अदरीस भाई, ये मेरी डोमेन नहीं है, नहीं तो मैं ज़रूर बताता आपको। ये बॉलिंग की डोमेन है। अगर आप के बॉलर से अगर ये बात करेंगे तो बेहतर आंसर आपको वो दे सकते हैं। मेरी डोमेन नहीं है, मेरी जो कोई डोमेन थी उसमें मैंने कोशिश की है कि मैं आपको बता सकूं, लेकिन बॉलिंग वाली मेरा ख्याल है कि मेरे लिए मुश्किल है।
थैंक यू सो मच इदरीस, थैंक यू सो मच आप सबका आपने में ज्वाइन किया। वी गॉट मोहम्मद रिजवान विद अस। Do we have anyone who wants to take a question in English? I believe Melinda, you are there. Do you have a question for Rizwan?
Yes, I do, if that's okay. Thank you very much, Ahmad. I was just wondering about the tactics today. It seemed as though you, in that middle session, really put pressure on Usman Khawaja, but then that seemed to sort of fade away a little bit before the new ball in the third session. Can you give us any insight as to what the tactics were there?
Bismillah. Look, we all know that they are a good batting side. Khwaja is a good batsman of the Test cricket, as David Warner, Smith, they all of. They're playing from Australia team, and they knows the condition what they're gonna want and what time they're gonna attack on us. But this is the beauty of cricket. We seeing that he gonna attack on us on our bowlers, and we try to drive the runs, and that is the reason why we go for leg side. And this is a Test cricket, and this is everything is possible in it. So we can try to dry run. This is the only tactic for us.
Do we have any more questions in English? Good. Yeah. Okay. So no more questions in English. If we have time, we'll try and come back. Now we'll take questions in Urdu. Faizan, आप पहला सवाल कर लें, please.
शुक्रिया इमाद। रिजवान, मेरा सवाल उसी हवाले से जो आपसे इंग्लिश में पूछा गया, लेकिन अगर आप थोड़ा सा उर्दू में मजीद वाज़ेह जवाब देते, जो टैक्टिक्स थी पाकिस्तान टीम की, लग रहा था कि थोड़ा सा बीच में इतनी अटैकिंग नहीं हो रही, क्या वजूहत थी, जहन में क्या चल रहा था पाकिस्तान टीम के, और आप क्या समझे जो स्ट्रैटेजी जो आप चाह रहे थे अकॉर्डिंग टू जो आज डे एंड हुआ उसका आप समझते कुछ फायदा हुआ है आज के पहले?
देखिए जी, लाजमी बात है, टेस्ट क्रिकेट है, उसकी खूबसूरती ये होती है कि भी वो मैच में ऊपर जाएंगे, कब हम ऊपर जाएंगे, जिस तरह सबके सामने तक है, जिस तरह उन लोगों ने पहले सेशन में हम टॉस हार गए और उन लोगों ने देखे टॉस जीतने का जो बैटिंग किया उनको बेनिफिट यही मिला है ना, उसने टॉस जीतने को बैटिंग करने का तो एक फायदा था, वो उन्होंने ले लिया। वही हुआ कि उन्होंने नए बॉल से रन किए, पिच ड्राई था, मॉइस्चर नहीं था, बिल्कुल ड्राई था, तो उन्होंने इसका फायदा लिया। पहली सेशन में उन्होंने 100 रन लगा लिया बोर्ड में, मगर इस तरह फिर हमने जब दूसरी तरफ देखा तो हमने रन को ड्राई करना था। देखिए ये एक कोई नेगेटिविटी नहीं होती, मगर आपको जब आप देख लें बड़ी बड़ी टीमों भी ऐसे वगैरह करती रहती है, और अल्हम्दुलिल्लाह हमारे बॉलर्स ने बहुत अच्छा कमबैक किया है। और ऐसे पिच पे आपको जब लग रहा होता है कि यार जो डिमांड होती है क्रिकेट की, तो उसी तरह खेलना चाहिए। उन लोगों का रन रेट काफी अच्छा था, अच्छा खेले उस टाइम पहले सेशन में, तो रन ही सिर्फ ड्राइव करने की वजह से हम थोड़ा इस तरफ चले गए।
ओके जी, नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन आशिर वाहिदी आप करें, और माजिद भाई काइंडली अपना माइक म्यूट कर देंगे प्लीज। आशिर सवाल करें।
अस्सलाम वालेकुम रिजवान, आशिर वाहिदी फ्रॉम क्रिकेटहॉलिक पीके। मेरा सवाल आपसे ये है कि इस पिच को किस तरह से रेट करेंगे एज कंपेयर्ड टू द रावलपिंडी पिच, और दूसरा सवाल ये है कि क्या जिस तरह से वो लोग
एक सवाल, हमारे पास टाइम कम है।
चलो,
वालेकुम अस्सलाम व रहमतुल्लाहि व बरकातहू। अशर भाई, पिच मुझे लगता है कि सेम स्लो ही है, मगर इसमें मुझे लगता है कि टन ज्यादा होगा, और ये ऐसा पिच है कि मुझे लग रहा है, मेरी थिंकिंग शायद मैं गलत या सही हो सकता हूँ, मगर मुझे लगता है कि शायद ये पिच रिजल्ट दे दे, क्योंकि इसमें टन होने के ज्यादा, टन भी बड़े टन होने के ज्यादा चांसेस है।
माजिद भाई और फिर दानियाल।
रिजवान, आप कह रहे हैं कि पिच टर्न होगी, तो क्या फिर ये पाकिस्तान के लिए डिसएडवांटेज होगा कि हमें चौथी इनिंग्स खेलनी है यहाँ पे?
माजिद भाई, टेस्ट क्रिकेट है, लाजमी बात है कुछ ना कुछ अच्छा पॉजिटिव नेगेटिव चीजें तो होगी ना, और एक अच्छी टीम लाजमी बात है कि देखिए हम टॉस हार गए, और इसका तो ये मकसद नहीं कि हम बिल्कुल हम हाथ ऊपर हैंड्स अप कर दें, मगर अल्हम्दुलिल्लाह हमें चौथी इनिंग्स खेलनी पड़ेंगी, तो अल्हम्दुलिल्लाह हमारी टीम क्या कहते हैं इस स्टेज से निकलेगी तो इंशाल्लाह एक बड़े स्टेज पे पहुंचेगी, और ये हमारे लिए एक चैलेंजिंग होगा कि इस हम जिस तरह हमने अभी लास्ट में विकेट भी लिए, तो हम पूरे वापस मैच में आ गए। अगर इंशाल्लाह कल को हम जल्दी आउट करते हैं उम्मीद अल्लाह पाक से, और पहले फर्स्ट इनिंग्स में हमारे लड़के हम सारे मिलकर अच्छा रन लगाते हैं एज ए बैटिंग यूनिट, तो उम्मीद है इंशाल्लाह कि उनके लिए भी मुश्किलात हो सकती है।
दानियाल।
रिजवान, टी से पहले हमने देखा कि फहीम और शाहीन ने काफी प्रेशर डाला हुआ था, तो रन्स तो ड्राई अप होना शुरू हो गए थे, लेकिन टी के बाद कोई ऐसी डिस्कशन थी कि कुछ थोड़ी बहुत रन्स रोकने के साथ साथ विकेट्स का कोई फास्ट बॉलर्स के साथ भी रोल होना चाहिए, बिकॉज हमने कोई फास्ट बॉलर नहीं देखा न्यू बॉल तक, तो आपने तो कीपिंग कर रहे थे अपने मान को, तो आपको लगा कि मे बी एक बैलेंस बेहतर स्ट्राइक हो सकता था रन्स रोकने में और विकेट्स लेने में?
देखिए जी, हमारे लड़कों ने ट्राई की है, मगर समटाइम आपको पिच से जब कोई चीज नहीं मिलती ना, तो आप जितनी भी मुख्तलिफ किस्म के ट्राई कर ले, तो नजर वो आने में नजर नहीं आता। हमारे लड़कों ने काफी ट्राई किया, अगर आप शाहीन शाह की बॉलिंग देख ले, उसने बाउंसर्स का स्पेल भी किया था, मगर वो पिच से बिल्कुल ऐसा कुछ मिल नहीं रहा था। मगर ये है कि ये तो देखिए जी, हर टाइम तो वो सिचुएशन नहीं होती, आपको चीजें नहीं मिलती जो आप चाहते हैं। अब पिच की डिमांड और मुखालिफ की तरफ से डिमांड कुछ और होती है, तो आप कोशिश करते हैं उन चीजों को कवर किया जाए।
लास्ट 2 क्वेश्चंस, कामरान और उसके बाद महमूद रियाज। कामरान मुजफ्फर एंड महमूद रियाज।
जी अस्सलाम वालेकुम रिजवान आपके हाथ की क्या कंडीशन है, क्योंकि पिंडी टेस्ट में भी देखा आप थोड़ा सा आपको तकलीफ हो रही थी, आज भी थोड़ा सा उसको देखा, तो आप फुली फिट हैं या कोई इंजरी कैरी कर रहे हैं, जरा उसके बारे में बता दें।
भैया हम तो हाजिर है हर टाइम और हमारे उंगलियों पे तो लगता रहता है अल्हम्दुलिल्लाह। ये क्योंकि इसलिए मैं अल्हम्दुलिल्लाह कह रहा हूँ कि ये उंगलियों का दर्द ऐसा दर्द होता है कि ये रेस्ट से ठीक नहीं होता। ये जितने भी आप कीपर्स है या फील्डर्स है या फिजियो से पूछ ले, उंगलियों का जो दर्द होता है वो रेस्ट से ठीक नहीं होता, क्योंकि जब लगता है तो ये जो है ना फिर दर्द करता है। इस दर्द में दर्द सहना पड़ता है तो ये दर्द ठीक होता है। ये उंगलियों का ये दर्द है। तो अल्हम्दुलिल्लाह ये से कोई चीज नहीं है कि इसकी वजह से मैं कोशिश, देखिए हम तो 100% देने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं। बाकी जहाँ पे लग रहा हमारे फिजियोस को वगैरह को लग रहा है, ये नहीं कि मैंने कहा नहीं लग रहा है। जब उंगली पे लगता है दर्द होता है, वो फील्डर्स को भी लग जाता है, हमें भी लग जाता है। अल्हम्दुलिल्लाह इस लिहाज से तो बिल्कुल ठीक हूँ, मगर आपको लगता है कि थोड़ा सा इंजर्ड हूँ तो आप कह सकते हैं।
First question, please, Tom Deason.
Hey Usman, how you going? Congratulations on the knock. Just wanted to know how that ranks amongst your favourite knocks at Test level, and what.
It's hard to rate all, honestly. Every Test 100 is pretty special. I think the Sydney ones were probably right up there as my favourites. This one, I mean, after last week getting 97, it's got to be up there. It's pretty disappointing. I'll still take 97 over a duck any day, but I would have loved to have 100 in Pakistan, and no, it meant a lot. Obviously, my family's all from Karachi. I was born in Islamabad. My family's all from Karachi, so this one meant a lot too. So it was really good.
Shahid Hashmi, please.
Usman, congrats on your 100. How did it feel when crowd chanted Khwaja, Khwaja, and was there any relative of yours in the stands?
Look, it was really nice. I think in Islamabad they did the same. They chanted Khwaja. Here too, when I got my 100 and came off. The fans have been great. They've been so supportive. I couldn't ask for more. I think I love it because you can tell they want Pakistan to win. Even when I get out, they're cheering, or if something happens, you can tell they're diehard Pakistan supporters. But you can also tell that they're very supportive of me. So it's very nice. I did have relatives in the crowd, only 4 today. I think I have a big family here in Pakistan, both from my mom. Sorry, in Karachi, both from my mom and my dad's side. But I think only 4 made it outside.
Steve Larkin, please. Steve, you there?
Can you hear me? Yeah.
Yes, yeah, we can hear you, Steve.
Yeah, sorry, thank you. If someone told you all this was going to happen sort of December or even late last year, not just the Ashes series, but coming here, what would you have told them? Is this sort of beyond your wildest dreams, or?
I guess in some respects, I wasn't really, I was loving playing cricket back home in Queensland. I wanted to play for Australia again, but it wasn't something that was on my radar. It's not like I had plastered up in my room and I need to play for Australia again and all that sort of stuff. I was having a lot of fun playing cricket, and I thought no matter what cricket I play, I'm going to have fun. Fortunately, I've been scoring a lot of runs the last couple of years. In Shield cricket back home, coincided with me being picked in the Australian team, which even that to itself, to be picked back in the Australian team was a big achievement. And, I was very, very happy with that, let alone getting a game and playing in Australia. I only played because of Eddie having COVID. It does feel like right now things are going pretty nicely. But I know the game can change very quickly. So I'm just enjoying the journey, even right now. A lot of people say that, but I'm at a point in my life, in my career, where it's more about enjoyment than anything else. Nothing lasts forever. I understand that. So I think you probably see it in my cricket. I'm having a lot of fun at the moment. And even if I wasn't scoring runs, scoring hundreds, I think I'd still be having fun, which is something that I've been really working hard on and making sure that, I keep that enjoyment going because it's something I love doing.
Lockie McCurdy, please.
Hey, Aussie, congratulations on the ton. Can you give us a sense of how much more difficult it got after the new ball had sort of worn off in that second session to bat out there? And what did you think of that sort of leg side spin tactic that they kind of employed for a large majority of that second and third session?
Look, it got a lot harder when it was reverse swing. It was reverse swing pretty big in that middle session. And it just got really hard to score. We just had to grind. Me and Smithy knew that. We just had to grind. If we saw an opportunity to score, we were looking for it, but we weren't presented with many. We bowled really well in that middle session, and then that last session where the spinners went a little bit negative to the leg side. They were just trying to control scoreboard because we got so ahead of the run rate. I think they were just trying to bring it back in, which is fine. It's Test cricket. Smithy got out by that last. I think two of our boys, Smithy and Greeny, both got out with the same tactic. So I think they thought we'll have another crack at it, but I think we just gave him nothing, which was our plan. And yeah, I think at the end of the day, that's just Test cricket.
Mel Farrell, please.
Thanks, Brian. Aussie, just on that, just a bit further on that, do you feel that it backfired on them a little bit in that there was so much pressure on you, and just as it was reversing, they kind of went away from what was working for them? And two, you seem to shelve the reverse sweep today. I wonder if you can talk us through if that was a deliberate decision.
I don't know if it backfired on them. I think it's pretty hard to bowl fast bowling out there consistently. It's very hot. So I think the spinners had to bowl in that sort of period. I think it's going to be very hard for the pace bowlers to bowl in that period and take the new ball again and bowl again. So I think that's more tactics than anything. The reverse sweep, yeah, probably to an extent, but I don't feel like I need to use it. Sometimes I don't. It's always in my repertoire. Second innings, if there's rough out there and it starts spinning more, probably definitely see it. I just didn't feel like the ball was doing a whole lot today. But that's the case. Everything sort of just becomes a bit more simpler. I can use my feet, get down the ground. I don't need to take as many risks to put pressure back on the bowlers because there's easy runs out there. So that's all it was. If it was ragging, if it was spinning a lot more, I would have just played it, but I don't feel like I really need to.
We've got time for three more questions. Andrew Ramsey, Faizan Lakhani, and Bharat as well, please. So Andrew Ramsey, first of all.
Thanks, Brian. Hi, Usman. Thanks to the magic of Murgatroyd, we heard what you had to say at the CAP presentation to Mitch this morning, but just wondering what that meant to you as a Queensland captain, and also what you think he might be able to do on that surface as the game goes on.
Yeah, look, I don't want to put too much pressure on Schwarber, but even out there when I felt the spinners bowling, and as Ali actually landed one, and he doesn't put half as many revs as Schwarber does, and I said to Smudge, I think this week might suit Sweatman. So fingers crossed. He goes out there. He just needs to enjoy first Test match. It's the best Test match. And I said that to Schwarber. It's the one where there's no one on your case. Everyone's happy for you, stoked for you. You achieve something that a long time sometimes feels like you might not achieve it, but always a dream. It's one of the best Test matches you'll play. So I'm sure Schwarber will enjoy it either way. But I'm really excited to see him out there and do his thing. We saw Marnus out there. He gave him a little bit of trouble to the Pakistanis last week. And if Marnus is doing that, I'm really excited to see what Schwarber is going to do.
Faizan, please.
Yes, friend. Man, how do you think wicket is going to behave in later stage from day 2? And what do you think should be the enough score before letting Pakistan?
Sorry, I didn't understand that.
Score. What do you think is a decent score for Pakistan bats?
850. Is that? I know he's insane. As many as we can. It'll be interesting to see how tomorrow goes. I think if we bat well enough tomorrow morning, we'll have an opportunity to drive the game. I felt like Pakistan were in a perfect position last game to do the same, but they just didn't do it. They didn't really take any opportunity to extend and increase the run rate. So if we bat well enough tomorrow and give ourselves and we earn the right in that second session, I think, if we can get anywhere near 400 or 500, it's a really good task. That's a long way to go still. We're only 250 at the moment. We have to double the score, I reckon. So So short answer, as many as we can.
Last question now, please, Bharat.
Thanks, Brian. Hey, Usman. Just a little bit about you and Shaheen Afridi today. There seemed to be some edge, and you really seem to be enjoying that battle as well.
Yeah, he was just. I was just laughing. Honestly, there's nothing really too much in it. He's a good bowler, obviously one of the premier bowlers in the world. I think I'm just trying to get under my skin, but as I said, I'm just enjoying my cricket, so it doesn't really bother me. Yeah, there's not much more to it, to be honest.
Okay, everyone, thank you very much indeed for your time this evening. Take care. Look forward to seeing you.